Angelfish. They're elegant, graceful, and shaped like they were designed to make every other fish look boring. They're one of the most recognised aquarium fish in the world, but whoever named them must have had a dark sense of humour, because these guys are anything but angelic. Today we'll be looking at their origins, how to keep them from plotting against their tank mates, and whether adding them to your aquarium is genius or a headache. Native to the freshwater rivers and floodplains of South America, angelfish belong to the genus Pterophyllum. There are 3 recognised species: P. ultum, the largest and often considered the most majestic; P. leopoldi, the rarest and least likely to turn up in your local fish store; and P. scaleri, the one you'll see in nearly every aquarium store. Over the years, breeders have developed a huge range of colours and patterns. Some of the best known include silver or wild types, veil, koi, zebra, marble, albino, leopard, and platinum. Angelfish can live in a variety of setups: bare tanks, community tanks, or planted aquariums. A planted tank is usually the nicest option, since plants help soak up the waste and give the fish a little greenery to glide around. Something simple like Java ferns work really well. They have tall textured leaves, there's low light needs, and it's almost impossible to kill. Their tank size depends on how many you plan to keep. If you have a 100-litre community tank with other fish, no more than 4 angelfish is a safe bet. If you've got a setup with a 200-litre tank, you can start to group them in about 4 or 5 juveniles, but be prepared to move some of them if they get too territorial as they mature. Overcrowding them is asking for stress, and if you do it, you'll need to keep up with extra water changes to stop the water quality from crashing. As for parameters, they like it warm, so 25 to 27 degrees Celsius with a pH of 6 to 7.5. The water hardness isn't too strict. They generally do best in soft water, especially if you're planning to breed them. Above all, keep things stable. Angelfish can cope with slightly off numbers than they do with sudden swings. Overfeeding is easy to do, since they act like they haven't eaten in days no matter how often you feed them, so don't fall for that guilt trip. Think of them less like angels and more like bottomless stomachs with fins. In the wild, angelfish pick at just about anything that will fit in their mouths: insects, worms, small crustaceans, and occasional unlucky fry. In the aquarium, that translates to flakes, pellets, frozens, and live food. They'll happily take bloodworm, brine shrimp, or daphnia, and they'll eat so enthusiastically it feels less like feeding and more like a mugging. The name angel clearly came from their shape, not their personality. Angelfish can be territorial, especially as they pair off, and they're not above throwing their weight around if something gets in their way. When it comes to tank mates, avoid fin nippers like barbs or anything hyperactive that will outcompete them at mealtimes. Their long fins make them easy targets, and their calmer feeding style doesn't mix well with frantic dashes. At the same time, skip nanofish and tiny inverts, macrorasboras, dwarf shrimp, anything that's bite-sized. They'll sooner or later become a targeted snack. Peaceful mid to large fish are good companions, the ones that can hold their own without harassing them. Think your larger tetras, your gouramis, your corridoras, or even a group of peaceful loaches. Basically fish that won't nip, won't bolt for the food, and definitely won't fit in the angel's mouth. Here are some other points to consider. They grow larger than most people expect, up to about 15 to 20 centimeters tall, including those fins. So don't plan your tank purely based off of their juvenile size you see in stores. It's best to start with a group of 5 or 6 when young, but as they mature they'll form pairs, and those pairs can turn territorial, staking out sections of the tank. Just be aware of this for later on, that you may need to rehome some if they're really problematic. Adding driftwood and plants isn't just for looks. It helps break up sightlines, creates territories, which makes keeping more than a few angelfish much easier. For all their drama in the aquarium, angelfish are actually one of the most commonly bred cichlids in the hobby. And there's something unusual about angelfish. Their parenting drive is so strong that even when things don't go to plan, they still sort of go through the motions. The females will lay eggs, the males will fertilize them, and if the eggs turn out to be infertile or get removed, the pair will keep fanning the bare glass as if it's still there. It's less about the eggs themselves and more about the instinct to care for them. Not many aquarium fish bother with this kind of rehearsal, but then again, angelfish have always had a bit of a flair for some drama. If you've enjoyed learning about angelfish, I'm building a whole library of species profiles so you can discover your new favourites, learn how to care for them properly, and avoid common mistakes. Hit the subscribe and follow along, and if there's a fish or plant you'd like me to cover next, let me know in the comments. And if these angelfish have stolen your heart, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check them out on the ones we have available in store. Thanks for watching.